Also marching today with us are 15 police commissioners from Europe and the United States who are on a special program supported by the Miller Center at Rutgers University that aims to educate senior officers about anti-Semitism. Today, that education continues at the very site where millions of Jews were murdered as a result of the most vicious form of anti-Semitism in modern history. We're here now today with Paul Goldenberg, who is the Chief Advisor for Policy and International Policing at the Miller Center, Carl Heeren, who is the first Commissioner of the Antwerp Police Department in Belgium and Chief Officer for External Affairs and International Relations, and Ben Heyman, who's the Chief of Staff of the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. Carl, this is your second March of the Living. Why are you here again today?
Yes, thank you. It is indeed my second time because it's so important. I'm not here by myself. I brought some officers from the Antwerp Police Department, but the idea came last year when I attended to bring together some senior officers from all over the world. So I reached out to Paul, and he was so kind to put this delegation together, whereas we try to bring the message throughout our organizations worldwide, because it's a global issue and we want to face it globally together and stand together in facing hate crimes and anti-Semitism.
Paul, how important do you think that Holocaust education is as part of the fight against anti-Semitism and hate crimes in general?
It's critical. I mean, as we stand on this ground where so many lost their lives, not just Jews, Roma, Catholics, Protestants, people from the LGBTQ community, it's amazing that this is ground zero, literally, for what can happen if society allows hatred and bigotry to fester. And the police are very much a part of the social fabric and infrastructure of democracy, and the police can make decisions. And unfortunately, in some cases, as we saw not only in World War II, but in other parts of the world, sometimes police are on the wrong side of history.
Ben, what is your purpose for being here, and what is the role of policing in combating hate crimes?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. It's my distinct honor and privilege to be here to represent the Metropolitan Police Department and also to be joined by so many police colleagues from around the world. The Metropolitan Police Department has worked with our officers over the last 20 years on educating around impacts of the Holocaust and also hate crimes and very similar pieces to make our community safer and stronger. Today it's a very deeply personal journey as well, and to be able to represent the Metropolitan Police Department and men and women of law enforcement and learning how to not repeat history is incredibly important.
Carl, are you seeing a rise in anti-Semitism in Belgium now, and what are you doing as a police force to protect the Jewish communities there?
Well, hate crimes in general are an online phenomenon, as we saw in a previous era, physical attacks and Molotov cocktails thrown to synagogues, etc. We now see an online race of hate crime generally. And it's our job to have our detectives be very alert and to react on these online hate crimes, because it can easily become physical hate crimes. And this is something we want to prevent at all costs.
Paul, you're going to be lighting a torch at the ceremony in just a little bit. Tell me the message that you're going to convey at the ceremony.
We're going to stand today in front of 10,000, if not the world, as the world's police, and we're going to pledge that we will do everything in our power, everything in our hearts and souls, to ensure that we are very much proactive in the fight against hatred and bigotry. We have seen hatred go in just the last, we've seen you asked about anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic crimes 20, 25 years ago, where it was scribbling and writing on the facades of Jewish institutions, and today you have heavily armed individuals who go from flash to bang online, on the internet, this thing we call social media, in a matter of seconds, and now are gaining entry to Jewish institutions and other institutions of faith, for that matter, and are causing havoc, pain, and mass destruction. So we're not in a great place, and we need to ensure that the police have a very strong role in understanding not only how to investigate hate crimes, but the impact that those crimes have not only on themselves, that's why we're here today, but on society as well.
Officers, thank you so much for being with us here today at the March of the Living.